Coverage you can count on for the Twin Tiers. This is WETM 18 News at 6.
New tonight, a teacher evaluation system for the Elmira School District is approved by the state. You'll hear what the superintendent has to say about it. A flu epidemic has come to the United States. We'll talk with a local health official about concerns in Chemung County. Plus, Governor Cuomo says he has plans to bring 3 casinos to upstate New York. Learn why Tioga Downs officials think they're the perfect place to gamble with.
Spring-like temperatures are expected for the weekend, and your full 7-day forecast is coming up.
Good evening, I'm Jeff Stone. The Elmira School District's new teacher evaluation system is approved. The New York State Education Department said yes to the new performance review plan for teachers and principals. In order to qualify for state aid this year, districts had to have a system in place by January 17th. Elmira School District Superintendent Joe Hochreiter says the process was unique and evolving. He says the process gave the district little independence, but he wanted to thank everyone for their help in this learning experience. A deadly flu situation is hitting states across the nation. It's in stark contrast to a relatively mild season last year. Sandra Endo has the details on this widespread outbreak.
A strong and early flu season is proving deadly across the country, but the Centers for Disease Control says some southern states where the flu hit earliest are reporting fewer flu cases than a week ago. Still, 24 states and New York City are still indicating high influenza activity.
The only thing predictable about flu is that it's unpredictable. Only time will tell us how long our season will last and how moderate or how severe this season will be in the end.
Friday, the CDC reported 20 people under the age of 18 have died since the outbreak started at the end of December. The center does not track flu-related deaths in adults, but states across the country are reporting double-digit fatalities, like 27 deaths in Minnesota, 15 in Indiana, and 22 deaths in South Carolina.
Generally, perfectly healthy people do not die from influenza, but it does occur. It's generally the elderly people, very, very, very young children, pregnant women, people with chronic diseases, chronic debilitating diseases, people on certain types of immunosuppressive drugs.
Health officials say the strain is the H3N2 virus, which is often associated with more serious disease.
They may get more complications from this particular H3N2 strain, which may make them ill for a longer period of time.
Doctors say it's not too late to get a flu shot to try to prevent getting sick. In Washington, I'm Sandra Endo.
Joining us now is Rosemary Anthony of Arnett Health. Rosemary, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, thank you.
I know you've probably been asked this question 1,000 times, but it's still worth asking again. Can the flu shot make you sick?
A lot of people think the flu shot can make them sick, but actually it doesn't. You can have some local redness or some muscle aches where you had the vaccination, but it can't make you sick. Some people who get vaccinated who are already harboring the virus may then get sick, but the shot itself does not.
Now, it can be a matter of it may ramp up your immune system, so maybe you're feeling slightly, well, not the best after the flu shot, but that's not the same as being sick, for example.
Exactly, and you can feel a little off, but usually it's no more than 24 hours, and the benefit of the vaccine far outweighs, the minor discomfort at the site.
Do we still have enough vaccine available in the county, to your knowledge?
We do. We do. Arnett Health is offering more flu clinics, and they're on the website. We also have, for people who are working and unable to get to their primary care doctor during the day or during work hours, there are weekend clinics at the Horseheads office building, weekends, which is really nice, especially because it's near the mall. People can just stop in, get their vaccination, and go shopping, keep everyone else healthy at the mall as well. There's a lot of information on our website about the availability of where to get it and how to get it.
Now, last night we had a story, some relatively scary numbers out of Monroe County, Rochester. They've had 8 flu-related deaths, 1,300 confirmed cases, 226 people hospitalized. But what kind of activity are you seeing at Arnett Health, either the hospital or the doctor's offices?
Well, in the community, most people know someone who is ill, but in the hospital, we really haven't seen an increase in activity. There are some respiratory illnesses, but we're prepared for an influx if the activity does become widespread. At this point, we don't see that, though. We can anticipate it and become prepared for it, but we are not seeing it at this point.
Well, that's good to know. Rosemary, I'm afraid we've run out of time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
In other news, President Obama announced today the acceleration of the U.S. military transition in Afghanistan. The president and Afghan President Hamid Karzai met today for a round of talks on how to navigate a plan to end the war in Afghanistan. This afternoon, they held a joint news conference at the White House. As expected, the two leaders focused on the broader guidelines for troop withdrawal in Afghanistan and what the role of the U.S. will be post-2014. Obama and Karzai both agreed that Afghan security forces have exceeded expectations, and now the process begins for scaling back coalition forces, which is set to start this spring. The Steuben County man that was convicted of attempting to murder 2 New York State troopers that were chasing him in the town of Hornellsville was sentenced to 40 years to life in Steuben County Court today. This is video of the arrest of 38-year-old Richard Van Gordon in September of 2011. Officials say Van Gordon fired a gun at 2 troopers who tried to pull over the pickup truck he was driving on County Route 66 in Hornellsville. That resulted in a 3-hour standoff. The troopers weren't hurt. Van Gordon's attorney originally said his client didn't try to kill the troopers. He says he only fired shots to scare them off. New York State Police need your help as they investigate a burglary that happened at the Campbell grocery store on County Route 333 in the town of Campbell. They're hoping these images from Byrne Dairy in South Corning can help. State police say the burglary happened back on November 19th of last year. Troopers are now trying to identify a male subject and a female subject relative to this investigation. And if you have any information, you're asked to call the New York State Police out of Painted Post at the number on your screen. A Tioga County, Pennsylvania woman is in jail after being caught with methamphetamine. 25-year-old Jennifer Washburn of Elkland is charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance. State troopers say she was found with meth on her person as well as meth-making materials. Washburn was initially arrested for petty larceny after she'd stolen merchandise from Walmart in the town of Irwin. Washburn is in the Steuben County Jail on $50,000 bail. A patient at the Chemung County Nursing Facility is suing the county after he fell out of his bed. 87-year-old Thomas Lord says on September 30th, 2012, the staff tried to reposition him in his bed. While doing so, he fell out because the side rails, he says, of the bed weren't up. As a result, Lord broke his left forearm and his chest cavity started to fill with fluids. The 87-year-old was taken to the Arnold Ogden Medical Center for treatment. The county legislature is set to look at the claim at their next meeting. Governor Andrew Cuomo sent one of his top cabinet members to Elmira today. Barbara Fiala, the commissioner of the Department of Motor Vehicles, met with public and local officials to go over Governor Cuomo's State of the State address point by point. On Wednesday, Governor Cuomo outlined his plan for the state, which included stricter gun control, raising the minimum wage, and bringing more money to upstate New York.
It's an opportunity to get out into the community, into the southern tier. We've talked a lot about jobs, which has a lot to do with upstate New York, and I think the reception has been great.
A lot of times the public, really doesn't get to hear the detail of what the governor is proposing. So no matter what your political persuasion, today was to educate people about the message, that the goals, the objectives, where the governor wants to go.
Santulli did say he was disappointed that Governor Cuomo did not address the problem of unfunded mandates. Tioga Downs Racetrack and Casino says it's ready to expand but could use some help from the state. In Governor Cuomo's State of the State address, the governor spoke about expanding the gambling industry in upstate New York. Tioga Downs hopes to be included in that plan. WETM 18 News reporter Bobby Brooks has more. Bobby?
Jeff, Governor Andrew Cuomo proposes that an expansion of gambling in New York would begin with 3 casinos in upstate and none in New York City. Governor, as of now, Tioga Downs doesn't offer table games like blackjack and poker, but officials there say they have big plans to expand with a hotel, restaurant, convention center, and table games. However, they're still working on a financial package. They say some funding from the state could really help.
That we have the ability to grow very quickly because we have the infrastructure, we have the zoning, we are ready to go, and we think that as a tourism destination, we're located in the middle of I-86, which is centrally located. We're at the gateway to the Finger Lakes, and we think that we can have a massive impact on the economy.
The governor said he wants to bring visitors from downstate and other states to upstate areas. A gaming commission would pick the best locations, and revenues would be split 90% for education with 10% for property tax relief. Reporting live in the studio, Bobby Brooks, WETM 18 News.
Those scattered showers we saw today across the Twin Tiers have really weakened and now are moving off towards the north and east side of the region, but we will hang on to a good amount of cloud cover going through the rest of the night. Now earlier today you can see that big batch of moisture that did come through the Twin Tiers. Since then, though, looking further off towards the west, we have a lot of clearing skies coming into the region, so that will be sticking around going through the rest of the night. We topped out today at 42 degrees at the airport. Since then, cooled down a few more degrees. We're right now showing the upper 30s, but check out our forecast the next couple of days here. The normal high for this time of year is 33 degrees. We should be well into the 50s on Saturday, potentially upper 50s on Sunday, then kind of come back to reality into early next week. Eventually by Tuesday, we'll drift right back down into the upper 30s for those highs. Another beautiful picture for our Weather Where You Live segment sent in from Kathy Scheibel from the Little Marsh area. We thank you for this picture of a nice sunrise. And as we go through your forecast for tonight, the showers will taper. It'll be slightly cooler out there with that low temperature of 35 degrees. But for the near term, with our hour-by-hour forecast, we'll slowly cool right down towards the mid-30s as the night does go on. And eventually look forward to a great start to the weekend before some scattered showers will come into the picture by our Sunday. Your full 7-day forecast is coming up. Jeff?
Thanks, Tom. Coming up next on WETM 18 News at 6, facing possible cuts, leaders at hospitals like St. Joseph's can rest more easily after Senator Chuck Schumer joins their fight for funding.
Coverage you can count on continues with Jeff Stone, Rebecca Solomon, meteorologist Tom Estergaard, and Alex Colley with sports. This is WETM 18 News at 6.
A major victory today for New York Senator Charles Schumer and Southern Tier rural hospitals. In danger of losing funds, the U.S. Senator has now secured millions of dollars for hospitals like St. Joseph's in Elmira. 5 rural hospitals in the Southern Tier, including ones in Elmira, Corning, and Hornell, will now receive $4.3 million in funding. This thanks to the efforts of Senator Schumer. Schumer was in Elmira today to celebrate his victory. Through his legislation, 2 Medicare payment programs critical to rural hospitals in the Southern Tier passed as part of the year-end fiscal cliff program. So instead of losing funding, the hospitals will be able to operate as normal.
I promise you this, I will continue to fight for our Southern Tier hospitals, our rural hospitals, and great health care for our communities here in this area and around the state for as long as I'm in Albany.
The 2 programs had expired on September 30th. If not for Schumer, St. Joseph's Hospital would have lost $1.6 million. St. James Mercy, Ira Davenport, James Memorial, and Corning Hospital would have all lost thousands. The programs have been extended for another year. Drivers in the city of Elmira should expect traffic delays come Monday on East Church Street. NYSEG is replacing natural gas mains and services on East Church Street between Clements Center Parkway and Madison Avenue. The work starts Monday and is expected to take about 10 weeks. Parking will be restricted in the area and traffic may be delayed or disrupted.
We saw a high temperature today of 42 degrees. Looked to be much warmer than that to start the weekend. Wait to see how these temperatures look to cool down heading into next week, though. My 7-day forecast is next after the break.
Kind of a gray, cloudy, rainy day over the clock tower in downtown Elmira. We're going to get some nice warmer temperatures, but we have to pay for it with a little rain this weekend.
Definitely do. Yeah, for today, it wasn't the greatest way to wrap up the work week, but at least we had some milder temperatures, and the snowpacks continue to just drop down, drop down. We've had some very warm temperatures. Besides those mounds of snow that are left in the parking lots after the storm, we should just be getting rid of almost all the snow through the weekend, as these temperatures are climbing well through the 50s for both Saturday and Sunday. But then again, as we head through next week, that's where we have the big cool down coming. Now right now, most of the showery weather that we did have earlier today has now actually moved further out towards the east. and that is showing off with our satellite and radar. A lot of cloudier skies, though, still left over. We had those pulses of showers to start the day, then the heaviest showers come through by between about 2 to 5 p.m. or so. But since then, we're seeing some partial clearing across the western areas, but still we have some cloudiness expected to stay with us through the rest of the night. So far, totals at the airport have only added up to about 1/10 of an inch, so it wasn't really a big storm system that did pass through here, but it was just enough to kind of clean up our roadways, all the salt that was on the roads. So eventually, as we head to our Sunday, we'll see a little bit more of the green come up here as we go further and further through the weekend. So with our weather picture for the start of the weekend, we'll hang on to mostly cloudy skies, a few more rays of sunshine by the afternoon, but it will be very mild. We have been talking about this weekend for the last several days, and we'll now be able to enjoy the very warm temperatures. But initially with our sky conditions, the light scattered shower activity will begin to taper, move further eastward going through the rest of the night. And to start tomorrow, you can still see a lot of extra cloud cover across the, well, eastern Twin Tiers. And going through the day, we'll just have some clouds passing by here. No rain or snow to talk about associated with these clouds, though. Saturday evening into early Sunday morning, this will have some changes here. Another batch of showers will come through across the western Twin Tiers. Kind of fade out, though, by the afternoon. We'll have the chance for a few areas of drizzle and so just some light scattered rain shower activity. But going further into the evening, that's where we'll have more widespread rain showers come through. So Sunday isn't looking to be the best day to get outside with the wet weather coming. Saturday will be the better of the 2 days as we have some dry conditions expected. Now, right now, we're at 39 degrees at the Elmira Corning Regional Airport. Through the rest of the night, we'll cool down just a few more. It will actually be a milder looking evening with temperatures, low temperatures for tonight above the average high for this time of the year. Normal high is 33, and through the rest of the evening, we'll only be down towards the mid and upper 30s. Advancing it through our Saturday, we will see some colors we haven't seen in quite some time. Notice the green shades arriving across the western areas. Hornell at 57 by 2 p.m. Still a little bit cooler further eastward with some more cloud cover expected getting into the upper 40s, and eventually we'll just hold on to the warmer air heading into our Sunday too. Sunday, upper 50s are likely before you'll notice these temperatures take quite the tumble heading through next week. Now, scattered showers come through by Saturday, which we showed you. By Monday, an early morning shower is expected. After that, we'll have some dry sky conditions, but we'll significantly cool down, going from 58 down to 40 degrees. 37 by Tuesday, mid-30s into our Wednesday, turning breezy, and then there you go. There's some scattered snow showers coming through here, and we'll cool right down by Friday towards 28 degrees. So from Sunday down to Friday, that's a good 30-degree temperature swing.
Well, it's good, as you mentioned earlier, we can get rid of the snowpack and make room for more to come.
More snow down the road, yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Sure.
Elmira College has another title to celebrate today. You'll hear why one ranking system is putting them as one of the top 10 colleges that lead to grad school. Elmira College has something good to feel about. U.S. News & World Report recently listed Elmira College in an article entitled 10 colleges that lead to grad school. It's about colleges that have the highest percentage of students attending graduate school within a year of commencement. Elmira College was ranked 6th on the list, with 64% of students enrolling in graduate school after commencement.
One of the things that has always been a strength at the college for people, whether they're going to graduate school or not, is that kind of interaction with faculty. Faculty know their name, they're not a number. We're 12 to 1 student to faculty ratio.
Rogers adds that many of the students go on to attend medical school and law school. Coming up on 18 Sports, the Jackals start a 2-game series with the Icemen. And Syracuse introduces their new football coach. Sports Director Alex Colley has the story coming up.
Back in December, the Icemen were out in front of the Jackals 2-0 in the first period. It was a lead that didn't last long. Elmira came right back to win 6-3 on the road. Looking at the tape, Elmira liked their matchup against Evansville, and that mentality hasn't changed. The Icemen and the Jackals are at it again tonight, and defender Kyle Bushy knows what it will take to get another Jackals win.
They're a big, strong, physical team. They're well coached. They're going to stick to their system. For us, the key is we've got to use our speed and really expose. They have real good size, so if we use our speed and our puck movement and expose their lack of speed, then we should be successful.
Remember, it's back-to-back matchups against the Icemen starting tonight at 7:05. The two will drop the puck again tomorrow night at the exact same time. Hopefully the Jackals can continue the nice stretch that they're on. It's the worst kept secret in Syracuse, but Scott Schaefer has been slated to become the next football coach. Today, the Schaefer era officially began. Darryl Gross officially introduced Schaefer as the new football coach and the man that will lead the Orange into the ACC gridiron. Schaefer was a defensive coordinator for Cuse under Doug Marrone, and his goals as well as the team's direction will remain the same under his new title.
To carry on the values of integrity, commitment, excellence, and teamwork, and put them to action with great attitude, effort, and enthusiasm. The pillars of this program. The thing we will talk about most on a daily basis is just that, attitude, effort, and enthusiasm.
Tomorrow afternoon, the Orange basketball team will tip off against Villanova in a game that has the ingredients to become another classic. Stephen Fonte has more from Orange Nation.
Well, after struggling in back-to-back games to hit shots from the outside, the 7th-ranked SU men's basketball team returns home to the cozy confines of the Carrier Dome tomorrow, and that might be just what the doctor ordered to break out of this mini slump. As for the opponent tomorrow, Villanova comes to town 11-4. The Cats got off to a slow start this season, but have turned it around of late, winning 7 in a row. Assistant coach Jerry McNamara knows from experience the Orange can't take Nova lightly.
Well, I think they found the right lineup. You know, the kid Pinkston's playing really, really well. Yaru's always a threat in the middle of the zone, and they've always had good guard play. But more importantly is when you come into a game and you feel confident, you're always dangerous. And you know, always our games against Villanova have always been great. You know, so I expect nothing less than that.
It'll be a noon tip inside the Dome. SU is 3-0 in conference play. Villanova is 2-0 with wins over St. John's and South Florida. With your Orange Nation report, I'm Stephen Fonte, WETM 18 Sports.
Thank you, Steve. Of course, we'll have a bunch of highlights tonight. Jackals High School Hoops coming up on the Blitz.
Seeing that report, I can think of all the buses of fans McNamara brought up from Scranton to the
Exactly.
Dome.
Yeah, we were just talking about that during the story.
Amazing. How about a last look at the weather?
Yeah, for the rest of the evening, it looks to be mostly cloudy and some warm temperatures for the weekend. We'll look at our ski forecast. We have those numbers up towards Swain Resort. Not too busy, though. 8 out of 30 trails will be open, but look at these temperatures. Lower 50s into our Saturday, mid-50s into Sunday. Overall, looking like a very unseasonably warm day. Up towards Bristol, more snowpack there, 22 inches of snow, but everyone is looking to see some very warm temperatures. Better chance to see some scattered rain showers, though, on Sunday. And then heading over east across Greek Peak, still some similar-looking warm temperatures, lower 50s for Saturday. A lot of trails open, though, there, so it could be quite busy outside. But still be sure to have the umbrella, though, if you just have plans to go outside locally here, because showers are looking to be on and off throughout our Sunday. But overall, enjoy the warm weather while it's here, because we cool down significantly into next week.
Yeah, I'd rather ski when it's 50 than 15.
Oh, yeah. Why not? Sure.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 11.
This is that wind chill, right?
Yeah, really. Although I want to...